Hello and welcome back to Bookish. Bookish on the road. It's Friday. You know, I usually film my Saturday Hodgepodge videos on Friday, and I'm on my way up to see my mom in East Texas for Mother's Day, so I can spend Sunday with my wife for Mother's Day. Gotta do both. So just a real quick day trip. It's about a 2.5 hour, 2 hour, 50-minute drive from my house to my parents' house in East Texas, and a large part of that is spent just getting around Houston and out of Houston. But I waited till I got out of town far enough where there were fewer cars and, in general, less traffic on the road, even though highway is a little bit busier this morning than I anticipated. But I thought I'd do my Saturday Hodgepodge, you know, my weekly wrap-up of BookTube, Bookish stuff. This month, if you watched my TBR video for May, you know that this is my month of buddy reads, and I have started all 3 of the buddy reads that I am doing this month. The first buddy read is with Patrice Jones, and we are reading George Saunders' book about writing, which is called Swimming in a Pond in the Rain, I believe. I think that's the name of that book. It has a complicated name. I'll try to put a picture up, you know, over here next to my face when I'm editing. I have to tell you, and Patrice and I left a message for Patrice today, and we've already exchanged comments about that, about the book once. It is really fun for a book nerd, you know, someone who thinks about writing and occasionally writes a story. It is just a really fun book in which Saunders does in the book what he does for a living and creative writing program, I believe, at Syracuse. He kind of breaks down stories and how to think about it, and he presents, you know, ideas about how stories are written and how writers operate, including some of his own ideas. And it's just been really fun, and getting a buddy read a book with Patrice Jones is also always a really fun thing. So that has been great. The 2 other buddy reads I'm reading Oscar and Lucinda by Peter Carey with Kim from the middle of the book march, and we have not exchanged our first check-in information or thoughts, so I won't talk too much about that. In my TBR video, I made it seem like I was kind of dreading Oscar and Lucinda, which is unfair and really isn't true. Certainly looking forward to the buddy read itself and getting to talk to Kim about a book, because she's so cool. So that reading has gone better than I thought, and has been, I think I thought the book would be something of a chore. I had attempted to start it and wasn't like enamored of it when I started the first time, but it's gone much better. And so that's fun. I'm looking forward to that check-in with Kim. And then I am buddy reading with Jack, the Rambling Raconteur. We are buddy reading John Dos Passos' USA trilogy, and we started book 1 this month, which is the 42nd Parallel, and that has gone really well. I will exchange my thoughts with Jack on Sunday, I believe, and so I won't give too many thoughts here, but I just want to, and I think I might do a video about John Dos Passos himself for next Thursday maybe. I just want to say that, you know, oftentimes, and one of the things that's true about history of anything, but the history of books and literature, is that some authors just get dropped. They just no longer end up being authors whose books are still read or studied in a really academic way, and those books kind of fall out of popularity, and they may even fall out of print. Dos Passos, in my book, deserves to be remembered. His books deserve to be read because he was a real innovator. He influenced lots of writers. Jean-Paul Sartre's Freedom Trilogy, I believe, I think that's the name of it, was influenced by Dos Passos' USA trilogy. Sartre thought that Dos Passos was one of the great, you know, writers of the day, and he wrote a whole lot of books, and he led a really interesting life. I have a feeling he became a lot happier once he ditched his friendship with Hemingway. But, you know, he was a part of that crowd, and the books are innovative and interesting, and I will talk more about them next week after Jack and I, or talk more about the 42nd Parallel next week after Jack and I have our check-in. And then I also was able to pick up a fourth book. This is one of the books I wanted to read as a part of the 1900 to 1950 read-along that Katie over at Books and Things is hosting. 42nd Parallel definitely fits within that framework. And the other book I'm reading right now is called Fixed Bayonets by John W. Thomason. It is a novel about World War I. Thomason was a Marine in the 5th Marine Regiment as part of the 2nd Division during World War I, and this is one of those topics that used to be something and still is something that I spend a lot of time reading, particularly American soldiers' stories and novels they wrote about their experience in World War I. I studied that specifically in grad school and wrote about that. Dos Passos, that's how I found Dos Passos, because he wrote a novel, actually he wrote a memoir about his experiences as an ambulance driver in World War I, and then he wrote a novel called Three Soldiers, which is actually one of the first kind of important American World War I novels. Anyway, Thomason's book is of that group. If I didn't say the title before, it's called Fixed Bayonets. And I've read about 25%. I'm reading that on the Kindle, which has really helped me out in saving my eyesight a lot. I'm reading the 42nd Parallel on the Kindle too, and that's just been really great. For whatever reason, I read faster on the Kindle than I do holding a book. There's got to be some explanation for that, and I'm sure one of you will give it to me. But, you know, Fixed Bayonets is not great. It is what it is. Thomason went on to write several other books. He was an artist of sorts. He's a really interesting fellow who I may pursue some research about at a later date. Let's see, in addition to that kind of writing check-in, I really haven't picked up the manuscript of that I completed to do any editing, and some people around BookTube have been scolding me about that, so I can get onto another project, which I definitely want to do. I feel like my motivation is higher again. I wish I was one of those people who could maintain motivation day to day, and I know Steve is going to make fun of me for saying this, but I just think people are different, and they all approach things like this differently. And as George Saunders would say, I can't be different than I am, but I can work harder to be the best version of that, whatever I am. And so I'm going to give that a shot and really devote more time in the upcoming months to those projects. So I may be a little less present on BookTube in terms of watching videos and comments, and I may drop a video. I may only go to 2 videos a week every once in a while to try to get that done. But, you know, there you go. There's my Saturday Hodgepodge. As always, I look forward to your comments in the comment section below, and thank you for watching.